Hello and welcome to the Photo Flunky Show, episode 97. This episode, we're going to be talking about the new changes and announcements from Adobe about Lightroom CC and Lightroom Classic CC. What does it mean to you? What should you buy? And does it really matter? Hi, my name is William Beem.
Hi, my name is Lightroom Beem.
And before we get started, I just want to let you know that the show notes are going to be available at williambeem.com/episode 97. You can get a transcript of the show there for free. And there are links to subscribe to this show there. And also you can go to our player at photoflunky.com to get to listen to this episode and others. And of course, I want to mention I've got a free ebook for you. It's called Creative Portraits. It is about the emotional and creative side of portrait photography. And in other words, what you're going to make the person who's looking at your photographs feel and think about, rather than the technical side of how you're going to capture it. So just something to give it a little thought. You can get that at williambeem.com/free book. It's free. Share it with a friend and hope you enjoy it. All right, let's start off with the basics of why did Adobe change Lightroom? Here's kind of what they've changed before we even get into the why is instead of just one version of Lightroom now on your desktop and then a version of Lightroom Mobile for your phone and tablet, now you have Lightroom Classic CC, which is the desktop version that you used to have is Lightroom CC. And now Lightroom CC is something completely different that is cloud-based and works on your desktop, your phone, your tablet. And I'm not sure if it's web-based or not. That might be coming or going or not. But I just think to me, it was odd that they took the name of an existing product, gave that to the new product, and then gave a classic name to the previous product that you've kind of known all these years.
That's the most stupid thing of the whole thing. I mean, the product issues, I think, not issues, but, the changes, things need to change. People have different needs. I'm sure they've researched this, and I can see that, either has its place for certain people. But to go and change the name, you take something that somebody knows, and this is what I've always used, and then you say, we'll rename that and call something completely different what you always called the thing that always was. I mean, what these guys sit there drunk at a bar at 3 a.m. and suddenly get this idea and write it up quickly before they sober it up with a coffee. It doesn't make any sense.
It reminds me of Coca-Cola, the same thing for decades. Then there was New Coke, and it's sweeter. And then people didn't like that. And okay, now we've got Classic Coke. It's like, did they follow that same Coca-Cola model for naming Lightroom? I don't get it.
It's stupid.
I'll agree with you. I cannot understand why you would take an existing product name, apply it to a new and different product, and then rename your existing product. It just, I'm sure there's a lot of well-paid people in marketing and product design and naming yourself at Adobe. But if this is the best they've got to offer, it really doesn't give me much hope for what's inside the package.
No, I'm just sticking with what I have.
Yeah.
Which is now a different name, of course.
So here's why. I mean, first off, things are moving more mobile all the time. And Lightroom CC, which is now the cloud-based version, is going to work, they say, wherever you are. And, unless you're a place like Cuba that doesn't really have internet, that kind of runs on barbed wire. But if you've got an internet connection, then you've got a cloud-based service now, which means that your photos will no longer be on your device. They'll be uploaded into cloud storage, which, by the way, Adobe will charge you for that.
Yes, that's an extra outlay. And that, some people want that. Some people do not want the space. They don't want to be messing around with the extra storage space. So I can see this being a solution and a big attraction for some people.
I get it too. And, there's nothing wrong with cloud-based solutions. I use them for a number of things. Just on our iPhones, we've also got iCloud, and we use that so that we can edit our photos between iPhone, on my iPad, or even on my Mac. It's a very simple solution. It's very convenient. It's very easy. It allows us to share as a family as well.
Yeah.
So Lightroom CC is now basically photos on your Mac.
Yeah.
And with iCloud. The difference is you're going to pay a bit more for the storage. And Lightroom Classic CC is Lightroom that you've always known. And they tell us once again that it's faster. I can't remember how many times that we've complained that Lightroom is slow. They come out and say this version is faster. And we use it when it's like, well, it's really not.
No, I just, as long as they stop my Lightroom from crashing all the time, I have no idea. But since the most recent update we did before this new thing came out, I'll be working on Lightroom, and it's not even like I have big files or anything. I've got 1 or 2 photos in there. I'll be in the middle of something, and it just Lightroom ran into a problem, and it closes out. And it is just It's the most frustrating thing. If they can fix that, I'm quite happy. That's all I'm asking for.
We'll try the new version. We'll see if it's any faster. I am hopeful that this time it actually is faster. I used to use Aperture from Apple, and honestly, if Apple had not stopped making it, I would still be using it because it was incredibly fast compared to Lightroom. And up until version 4, it had better post-processing than Lightroom did. I think Lightroom left the post-processing feature of Aperture behind and pulled ahead, Lightroom version 4. It got better than what Aperture could do, and it's continued to move on because Apple did not innovate anything or add to that program.
Yeah.
So it's clear why Apple killed it off, but as a photo management tool, not considering the editing capabilities, Aperture was a much better product than Lightroom.
Well, I like Lightroom. I didn't have Aperture. I mean, this is all I use. I'm very happy with it. It is slow. It does have its hiccups, but it's still the best of the options out there. I feel it's a pretty good deal for what I've got.
You know what? Lightroom is also facing competition from other photo managers. I mean, On1 Raw had its browser out for a while now to, you don't have to have a catalog and all those other things that Lightroom puts in there, and you can just go out and browse your photos. The upcoming version of MacFun Luminar is going to have a digital asset manager in there, so it can also do the same thing. It's getting to the point where you don't need to have Lightroom for a lot of people's needs, and I think that's kind of scaring Adobe a little bit.
Maybe. I like Lightroom. I'm staying with it unless they screw something up, which this hasn't. This is just, I'm laughing at them about the names. It works for me. I know it. I understand how it works. I know all the ins and outs for the features. So I don't really have any inclination to change. I might try something else as an extra because I think different things have different strengths. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with Lightroom. I'm going to roll with the new name of my old program and just keep it as it is.
So now we're classic. I mean, it's like if I don't feel old enough, when you call something classic,
I know, dear Lord.
I mean, I'm sorry, Adobe, but what were you thinking?
It's like it's the old.
Yeah, this is for you old folks. You young kids that play on the internet, you get Lightroom CC now, which means you can do stuff wherever you are, but you can't do all the stuff. So, for example, you cannot print from Lightroom CC. There's no map module in Lightroom CC. Some of the features that you use for comparing, photos side to side, like if you want to go into compare mode, it's a good way to say, do I want this photo or do I want that photo? There's a nice little level you can go through to pick the best photo that you've got. Whichever one comes out on top of that comparison is really the one you've decided is your best photo. You can't do that in Lightroom CC, which is, of course, the new cloud version. And there are other features that simply do not exist. In other words, when I compared this to photos from on your iPhone or Mac, I'm sorry if you're an Android user and you don't use those, but you can understand the concept. What you have is a dumbed down photo editor that works on the cloud, but you don't have all the features that you're used to having in Lightroom when you use the new product, Lightroom CC.
But this might be a draw for new subscribers to sign up.
I think it's going to be an incredible draw for some people who really only work off their mobile devices.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't think they're really going to care that there's a client for their desktop or a web-based one. The fact that if you're out on the go, Lightroom is still going to be a very good tool for processing your photos, and it's going to have tools in there for sharing them. So if you're out on the go and you're looking for things that you want to share, for example, Facebook, Instagram, what have you, I think Lightroom CC is targeting that audience, which is why it doesn't have a lot of these other features that they're never going to use.
Yeah.
And also, they're not taking very large raw photos and uploading. If you're just uploading a JPEG, you're going to have a lot more photos in that 1 terabyte of space than you are if you're uploading raw photos. My RAID array here is like 16 terabytes. I've got 10 of it filled up, and a good chunk of that comes from my photographs. I don't know how much it would cost me right now if I had to upload all of that to the cloud, or how long it would take just to upload it.
You know how long it would take to get all that stuff up there?
I can tell you this. I've got a different program. It's Crash Plan for my backup that's been uploaded to the cloud for months, and it's only trying to upload 5 terabytes. It has taken more than 5 months to try and get to that amount. This kind of cloud plan is not something where you really upload everything. And even if you did, how well do you trust it to make sure that your data is there? I like having cloud services, but I don't necessarily trust them with something that's precious to me.
Yeah, it's a nice backup. I think it is a nice backup.
I want to have it synchronized to something close to me, because if I lose my internet connection, then I've lost my access to my photos. If I stop paying for Lightroom, I've lost my photos. or unless I can just download all of them again, which defeats the purpose of uploading them in the first place.
Yeah, then again, if you've accumulated, you stick in there for a couple of years, you're a high volume user, and suddenly decide you went out, or you're unable to afford it, or they change the packages again. Maybe what they have that's new doesn't work for you anymore. You want to try and get the stuff out of there. How do you do it? Like, it's going to say you have to stay subscribed for 5 months to download your stuff.
Or you can download faster than you can upload, but that means that your upload process, if you're uploading raw files, is going to take a lot longer than it is to copy to your hard drive.
Yeah, and watch out for if you've got limits on your internet use at home.
Well, the other problem is, depending on where you're getting your internet, you may have bandwidth caps. So after you've uploaded a certain amount of data, they may throttle your access and slow everything down. And that's just
a problem.
Yeah. So right now they're announcing that it comes with 1 terabyte of storage. And here are the options that you have. If you get Lightroom CC only, it's $9.99 a month with 1 terabyte of storage online. So, like I said, for the people just using mobile devices and just doing JPEGs, that's a fair plan.
And I think this is who the plan is targeted for.
And I think 1 terabyte for JPEGs is a lot of space. That's the same thing that Flickr is doing. You get a terabyte there and some other services. So I don't have any complaints with that if that's the plan that's right for you. The photography plan that you may have been familiar with has $9.99 a month. You get Lightroom CC, the new product, Lightroom Classic CC, the old product, and Photoshop CC, and you get 20 gigabytes of online storage. So you're getting a smaller chunk there for $9.99 a month. If you want to have a terabyte of storage, then you need to pay an extra $10, so it's $19.99 per month for those 3 programs plus the terabyte of storage. There's no discussion yet of what happens if you need more than 1 terabyte of storage. So I don't know what it's going to cost you, or if they have a plan that will allow you to upload more than 1 terabyte. Like I said, I've got more than 1 terabyte of my photos here. And, I'm trying to make sure that everything is fast and speedy when I'm doing my work. And if you've got to upload and download these images, I don't see how fast that's going to be if you're talking about raw files.
Yeah, I agree. I really think this is aimed for people working with smaller files.
Yeah. So let's say that it is, $10 per terabyte, and I have 5 terabytes of photos. That's a lot of money to spend every month just for the convenience of storing something in the cloud and hoping that, it's like, am I going to spend $50 a month plus the other $9.99 a month? So $60 a month for me. That's an unreasonable amount.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of money just for photo storage, especially since I've already got a RAID array here plus a backup system, to protect that. And I'm already backing it up to another cloud service. For me, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to stick with what is now the classic plan. And the other question is, how is this going to change what we've already been doing with collections and what was previously Lightroom Mobile and is now Lightroom CC on your mobile devices?
Yeah, so if we stay with the classic, or we stay with the one we had, which becomes the classic, do we lose the Lightroom Mobile connection that we had?
Well, Lightroom Mobile is already gone. It is now Lightroom CC. If you upgrade on your phone, when you look down the logo, it is Lightroom CC. It no longer tells you Lightroom Mobile.
Okay, all right.
But here's the part that I'm getting at. What used to be a free service, now am I using that 20 gigabyte of online storage? And if I exceed that, am I going to be charged?
Yeah, I don't know how this works. I'll have to check carefully before I update anything.
I'm not afraid of updating, but at the same time, I'm wondering, are there little loopholes here that haven't really been thought through or haven't been disclosed yet?
That's why I don't update until the other people have gone through the problem.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Never get a 1.0 version of anything.
I don't. I still haven't updated my iPhone. I'm waiting. Let everybody deal with their stuff.
I don't think that this new cloud-based product was really ready for prime time because it's missing so many features. I get it that it's probably marketed at a different audience, but you've got an existing audience that's looking at everything that Adobe releases for photographers, and Lightroom is certainly in that realm. They're going to be interested. They're going to think, oh, this could be really convenient. I've got my library that I can carry with me now. And I'm thinking, well, no, you don't, depending upon the size of it and how much you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
And if you do go with that version, well, then you don't have all the features that you used to have before. So it's confusing. It's different, and the naming convention, I can't say it enough. It really sucks. As we said, if you need more than 1 terabyte online, there's no pricing model announced. So that's what we wanted to share with you about the new Adobe Lightroom Classic CC and Lightroom CC. I think there is a market for this, but I also think that if you're comfortable with Lightroom right now, stick with Lightroom Classic CC for your photographs. You may want to experiment with a new version, but it's a 1.0 release. It's not going to be a full-featured program yet. I think Adobe released this a bit early. It is not the same thing, even though it has the Lightroom name. So my suggestion is be careful, be cautious, and trust no one.
There you have it.
Thank you very much for joining us on the Photo Flunky Show, episode 97. And show notes are going to be available at williambeam.com/episode 97. Of course, you get a transcript of the show there for free, and you will find links to subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play Music, and other sites. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and we will see you again here next week.